viewers what it's like for you living on the autism spectrum?
Well, it's kind of like I've been living two lives, or kind of speaking two languages, but not everyone speaks the other one, which is the autistic one. And it's been both really difficult and it's been a real asset to me too. It's like there's a switch and I can access a rich resource of visual imagery. For me, it's a real well of imagination. But unfortunately, drawing on it has certain characteristics, and that kind of made me a bit of an outcast, and I had to hide that quite extensively.
For our viewers out there who are not living with autism, could you describe for them how it feels for you, or what it's like each day?
It's like everyone else is speaking the same language, and that language can be learnt, and I've certainly learnt that language, and I've been told that I've learned it quite well, but my natural language, my cultural language, is not one that's ever been spoken. It's and it feels like, especially in times where I can't step up to and utilize those skills that I have learnt, my natural state, in a state of distress, will have difficulty communicating with others.
Dylan, what have been some of the challenges for you, the most challenging experiences so far?
Most challenging, I think, has been particularly with communicating with points of authority. So things like the medical system, school environments, teachers, lecturers, and even just your parents. Like it's very nerve-wracking to try and explain something that you don't have the words to explain. If from my understanding, autism can express itself in many things. For me, it's a visual language, and trying to explain images and feelings and colors that don't have words for them is incredibly difficult.
What have been some of the positive or wonderful things that you've experienced?
When I've learned from a young age to kind of separate my sensory overload, and I channel it into a state of trance, and it looks quite bizarre, but it gives me access to such a powerful source of imagery. I think a German study actually called it eidetic imagery, so which I can recall images and combine them, and I couldn't do that in the classroom, I couldn't do that in my everyday life, but when I could sneak away, draw on that, and then bring it out, that really it's an incredible feeling.
Dylan, if the Prime Minister was sitting here right now, what would you say to him?
I would say understand that it's not a problem. It's not an issue that these people have. It's a language. All it needs is a translator. And if he had a translator on his staff, or he had an awareness of how to communicate with people like this, there would be so much that he could learn. There'd be so much that he could incorporate, and he could, through that voice, change so much and be just a much better world.
And other people out there now watching this who are living with autism, what would you say to them?
I'd say, you're not alone. There's so many people. There's great groups like the one that I've just experienced here with Future Leaders, and it's incredible to have people that, even if you can't quite explain yourself, everyone has a level of understanding that just makes you feel, for the first time, not alone.
And Dylan, finally, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my family and my friends, because they may not have realized that we weren't speaking the same language, but that never stopped them from trying, and it's never going to be easy for both sides. So to everyone that puts in the effort, well done. That's the first step.
Thanks very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.